Live from the Dr. Jerry Henderson Radio Complex, it's time for Card Guys. And now, here's your host, Anthony Schulte.
Good morning. Thank you, Michael, for the intro as always, and welcome to Card Guys, Detroit Sports Talk, Season 3, Episode 3. Coming up today, the Lions lose a tough game to the Buccaneers. We have reactions and analysis. Plus, the Tigers take the series against the Orioles. Can the Tigers make the wild card? And we go over a wild Week 2 in the NFL. I'm Anthony Schulte, and joining me, as always, my man, Ryan Donnelly.
I want to apologize straight up, just to tell you guys, I had a rough but really fun weekend. I went home over the weekend. I worked 4 straight shifts. That normally people work like four shifts in 4 days. I worked 4 shifts in about 48 hours. And then, so I got home Thursday. Friday, I worked Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top, and then the Outlaws. That was pretty fun. Saturday morning, I worked security at the Michigan-Arkansas State game. If you won by 10, that's a loss in my book. You're supposed to beat these teams by 30. Then I worked Charlie XCX and Troy Savant, I don't know how to say his name. Savant, whatever. Troy and Charlie at the arena. Got back, got up really early, and worked the all-day Lions game. So I watched the game at Ford Field, and I worked at the same time, and then I drove 2 hours and 45 minutes back from Detroit to Mount Pleasant in rush hour traffic, in Detroit game day traffic. I got here around 8. And I am extremely, extremely tired. I decided to skip my workout today to take a nap. I'm tired.
All right. Wait, you got here at 8?
8 p.m.
Oh, I thought you meant you got to the studio at 8.
It's 7. Hold on. It's 7:36 in the morning.
It is. I was about to say, not 8 yet.
If it was 8, then I wouldn't be here yet.
That's true.
True.
Also, right next to me, Michael Rosenkranz.
Guys, I don't think there can ever be a day in Detroit where 2 teams can win on the same day. Nope. It's just a thing that happens in Detroit. But, yeah, we have thoughts, we have reactions, we have analyses that we're going to do. But, yeah, yesterday was painful.
Usually it's the Pistons that are the culprits of winning on Lions game day, and then the Lions end up losing a game they should probably win. This time, it's the Tigers. The Pistons being my favorite team out of all of them, I'm not complaining because it gives me a little bit of a break from having to hear everybody, oh, the Pistons made the Lions lose. Oh, the Pistons won and the Lions lost. It's Pistons' fault. So happy I don't have to hear that. That's the only solace I'm taking out of everything, is that I don't have to hear that. However, it is time for 3 stars. Michael, lead us off today with your 3 stars.
So my 3 stars, my third star is going to be Shohei Ohtani. He's 2 for 4. He went 2 for 4 last night. Dodgers just continue to win. They're going to be a scary team in the postseason in the National League. They lead the National League right now. Second star has got to go to Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, I have him in fantasy, but how does it get any better than his first 2 receptions being for 83 total yards and 2 touchdowns?
Special talent.
Yes, special talent, and Kyler Murray finally discovered that Marvin Harrison exists. And when you link up with him, that's what happens. And then first star is got to be, without a doubt, Aiden Hutchinson. The dude had 4.5 sacks yesterday. Unbelievable. The most I saw him have at Michigan was 3 sacks against Ohio State in 2022. So he already got more sacks there than at Michigan. Unreal, and it's only week 2, but he's already a big candidate for Defensive Player of the Year.
He is a big candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. And, Kyler Murray had a pretty good day, right?
He did.
Throwing to Marvin Harrison. I give it till week 8. You know what happens in week 8?
Call of Duty
comes out.
There you go.
Cardinals fans, you have until week 8 to try and have a winning record by then because your quarterback is gone halfway through the season. Ryan, who do you got for 3 stars?
Before I say my third star, I want to point out that the Cardinals' red jerseys looks like they're playing football in pajamas.
Good point.
It looks visually unappealing to me.
They looking like bottles of Heinz ketchup out there or something.
Yeah, the all reds look weird to me. They look
they do.
They look like the little kids playing in pajamas.
At
Anyways,
Christmas time.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Exactly.
let's keep the show short today. My third star, Caitlin Clark, who yesterday against the Dallas Wings had 35 points.
Wrong.
Dallas Wings.
Detroit Shock.
What?
Oh, I see.
I thought
Shock.
the Detroit Shock was the Vegas Aces.
Detroit Shock turned into the Tulsa Shock, which turned into the Dallas Wings.
Oh wait, it was the San Antonio team that turned into the
Yes.
Las Vegas Aces. I thought it was Shock, San Antonio, Vegas Aces.
No, Detroit, Tulsa, Dallas.
The Fever against the Detroit Shock.
There it is.
Had 35 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists. Now, that's a normal game for Caitlin Clark. Why am I pointing that out? Well, the Fever clinched the 6th seed in the WNBA playoffs, which we will try and cover Wednesday. But also, Caitlin Clark set the single-season rookie scoring record in the WNBA. So, good job.
Doesn't she have the most 2010 games, ever, and she's a rookie?
Yep.
I believe so.
She has the
Generational.
most 20 and 10 games in WNBA history, just anybody, all time, the most, and she is a rookie, and her season's not even over yet.
No, not even
Which is
over.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's
It is incredible.
If
I
she's
love
not
watching.
Rookie of the Year, that is a disgrace to basketball. There's no way, and this is kind of off topic, there is no way the budget Andre Drummond is winning Rookie of the Year over Caitlin Clark.
Well, to be fair, Angel Reese, all she does is rebound her own shot.
She shoots 40% at the rim. She has the worst shooting percentage at the rim. That's how she gets all of her rebounds. People are like, oh, she's a walking double-double. Yeah, because she gives herself 5 extra rebounds a night because she misses bunnies at the rim. Goes to take a 3. No, let me step in for a long-range 2 and airmail it by 30 feet.
Right.
She is terrible.
No, she's not. Okay, she is good. She's a good rebounder. When she can put the ball in the hoop, she is a very good player. I'm not saying she's a bad player. I'm just saying in comparison to Caitlin Clark, she is not on the same level, and I just don't like her game. Her game's unappealing to me, but that's because I'm a center. So
Yeah, so am I. But that's a little preview for Wednesday's show.
yes,
Second star, like we were just talking about him, Kyler Murray. Yesterday went 17 for 21, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns, and on the ground he had 5 rushing attempts, 59 rushing yards. Very good game. 2 of those balls went to Marvin Harrison. Very good game. I am scared for next week. And then my first star, come on, it's Aiden Hutchinson, 4.5 sacks. Being there in person for it was unreal, and oh my gosh, the fans were all behind Hutchinson and Hutchinson only. So those are my 3 stars.
all right. My 3 stars. I'll kind of cap us off here. Number 3, I'm going Riley Green. 2-run home run, really the catalyst in the game yesterday, I'd say. And then just the insurance run, the insurance home run. 2 home runs for Riley Green. Yesterday, I'd say he's the reason we won yesterday. Number 2, Alvin Kamara. 4 touchdowns, 4 tutties, 160 yards.
And 3 of them were in the first half.
Yes.
3 of them in the first half. I got destroyed. Shout out Ryan Glinsky. He picked Alvin Kamara in fantasy, and I got destroyed by Alvin Kamara. So
The Saints look good.
they're a
Oh,
sleeper
yeah.
team in the
The
NFC
Anthony
right
Schulte,
now.
the upset of the week, just keeps on cooking.
Oh yeah.
And then my number 1 star, it's Hutchinson, 4.5 sacks. I don't even know how many QB pressures. He got to the quarterback. It seemed like every single play. It's just got to figure out a way to contain Baker Mayfield. That's going to be kind of a good segue into our first segment, the Detroit Lions. Kind of a somber Monday here on the program. Lions dropping game 20-16 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which first I would like to hats off. The Buccaneers played their you-know-what's off.
Yep.
Yes,
they had
they
an
did.
incredible game. They were the better team. They executed their game plan much better. They deserved to win. Even if the Lions win, even if the Lions won, we did not deserve to win.
No, not at all.
The Buccaneers were great. They're going to be a problem. I think one of the best divisions in football now is the NFC South, because you got Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Atlanta's still pretty decent. They've got some talent. So
What about the Panthers?
every division has that one dud.
Yeah,
You know?
but the Panthers are like the garbage can that has the flies swarming around it.
And the rest of them's a giant, brand new metropolis around it.
Yep.
However, the Buccaneers, they're going to be a problem in this league. Baker Mayfield was incredible, just incredible. The way he avoided pressure and made positive plays after what seemed to be, a sack or a loss or a just throw out and try again type of play. He improvised. He was mobile. He made the best of every situation, and that's ultimately what won them that game. And the Buccaneers deserve all their flowers for this game because not only were they the better team, not only did they execute better, it seemed like they wanted the game more than we did. To be fair,
No, I agree with you.
the offense. I mean, the defense showed up. Look, you limited Tampa Bay's offense to 20 points. Let's be honest here. Baker didn't throw as well as he did week 1. He was still great, but he didn't throw as well as he did week 1. I want to bring up a stat here. Bring out the old cellular device.
The old telephone.
Yes. I have a stat here. Let's go over our team stats. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Total yards, 216. Total plays, 47. Yards per play, 4.6. First downs, 14. Passing yards, 185. Completions, compared to attempts, 12 for 19. The Detroit Lions. Total yards, 463. Total plays, 83. Yards per play, 5.6. First downs, 26. Passing yards, 324. Completions and attempts, 35 for 56. Unacceptable to lose this game. You demolished them in every key stat you can find, other than total points scored. Blame it on Dan Campbell. Your clock management, as much as we love Dan Campbell, and he has brought this team back, or not back, it wasn't really there ever. He's brought this team into prominence, into contention. It's been Dan Campbell. Without Dan Campbell, we're not here. Dan Campbell's clock management is some of the worst in the National Football League. Yep. He has never been able to manage a clock. He has barely ever used his timeouts right. And I think and he blamed himself. Coming out of halftime, talking to the sideline reporter, he blamed himself. He said, put it on me, that's my fault. Why are you sending your field goal team out when you know you have to clock it? Was his thinking seriously with 9 seconds running clock to throw the field goal unit out and get a kickoff in 9 seconds? You can't do that. I don't think that's physically possible. To line up, get everything, your kicker lining up the shot, you can't do that. So why would you ever think in that situation to throw your field goal unit out? That's one of the reasons why we lost the game. I think there was many reasons why we lost the game. But think about it. We get that field goal there. Instead of having to try for a touchdown at the end of the game, all we got to do is drain that clock out and kick a field goal from the 30 with 3 seconds left.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you win the game. And then it's a completely different discussion today. It might be, hey, the Lions didn't look too great, but hey, they found a way to win. We're not having that same conversation as last week. I think Jared Goff. And now this is going to kind of lead into my final point. Jared Goff had an off game. Let's be honest. He hasn't looked sharp these last 2 games. Decision-making's off. He's hitting only his first level. The first player he sees is what he's throwing to. While Sam Laporta is not really getting open, there was at least 3 times where he was wide open where he was not hit. The same with Amon-Ra last week. The same with Amon-Ra this week. It seems like he's trying to force the ball to J-Mo. It really does. Jared Goff has not looked sharp. He's not looked good. And this is going to lead into my final point here. Detroit fans, This is a love letter to you. We need to chill out. Lions win, right? Say the Lions win. Oh, Jared Goff's the best quarterback. We're the best team. We're the most we're going to the Super Bowl. We're winning the Super Bowl. I love this team. Lions lose by 4. Just one of those losses where you kind of need one of those losses. Let's be honest. This team last year, what did this team do last year? You lose a game, that puts a fire under there, you know what? And guess what? Now they win 3 more. And then they'll lose a game. And then they'll win 3 more. But then they'll lose. This team needs to lose games. It's so young. Losing games, not only does it anger them, but it kind of humbles them, kind of puts, okay, you know what? We need to fix some things. We lost. We need to fix this. And it drives them a little bit more. Hopefully that leads us to 3 more wins, or however many wins, right?
Right.
Hopefully we can take the best out of this loss, just like last year with the Seahawks. However, these fans, I'm getting kind of sick and tired of this. All I've seen on social media, which I probably shouldn't have gone on social media after the loss yesterday, but here I am. All I see is Jared Goff sucks. Jared Goff is overpaid. Jared Goff was not the answer. Why did we waste $40 million? Why did we waste a contract? Now we have an unmovable contract for 4 years. What else was I saying? Oh, fire Dan Campbell. Fire Ben Johnson.
What?
Ben Johnson's the worst offensive coordinator. Those are all things I have seen on Twitter and on Instagram. These fans are losing their mind over a 4-point loss to the Buccaneers, which is easily fixable. These things are all fixable. It's not like we're watching this team get blown out by 40 and it's like, oh, yeah, it's just not working anymore, is it? No, you lost by 4. It was a couple mechanical issues. It was a couple issues with your quarterback that can be fixed. We're acting like we just got blown out 2 straight. We're acting like we're the Ravens right now, where we just lost to the Raiders when, hey, let's be honest, the Raiders aren't too hot.
No.
You know, they're not the best team in the league. The Buccaneers are a good team. They've proved that 2 straight weeks. They're a good team. You lost to a good team. That's going to happen, especially when you just played them in the playoffs last year. You know how hard that is? To not only play the same 2 teams in the next season, but the same 2 teams to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
You've played the same 2 teams the last 4 weeks of football you've played. That's incredibly difficult to win all of those games.
And to win twice in back-to-back years or twice in the same years.
Right,
Very
exactly.
difficult to do.
It's difficult to do, and we only lost by 4. And these fans are acting like we lost by 40 to the Panthers and the Raiders in back-to-back weeks. That's not what happened here, folks. It's not what happened. Jared Goff is not a guy you need to get rid of or you need to panic about right now. Now, if he doesn't have a good game at all this year, and he looks like garbage the entire year, and he doesn't bounce back from these games, we can have a conversation about Jared Goff. There is no need. You could be realistic. Jared Goff didn't look good. The offense didn't look good. Things need to be cleaned up. You can be realistic about things. You can see things for what they are. But to say that Jared Goff is overpaid already, you're 2 games in. To say the acronym, I'm sorry, Grandpa, you have a pass because you have watched this team for so long. But if you're a young fan, if you're a fan under the age of 30, and you are saying SOL,
You're not a fan.
It is so invigorating because the same old Lions would have lost this game by 30.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were there some plays where it was kind of giving us some flashbacks? Yes. There were some plays that were kind of giving us some
Third
flashbacks.
and 22, and you let the Bucs gain 20.
Right. Some ticky-tacky penalties, right? We saw some good old missed calls from the Zebras out there on the field. Look, I'll kind of wrap this up here because I'm kind of just going in a spiral right now. Patience. Need patience. You made it to the NFC Championship last year. Great. That doesn't mean you're going to go undefeated this season. There's going to be some tough games. You have a tough schedule. You've got the Bills. You've got the Texans. The Cardinals are showing signs of life. You got the Cowboys, who are still a good team. And our entire division is good right now. We are the best division in football, by the way. The NFC North. You are in the hardest division. You are not going to win every game. Now, is this a game you probably should have won? Yes, because it's not going to get any easier. However, you have a tough schedule ahead. You are not going to win every game this season. And to have that expectation and to get mad when you lose by 4 when it's easily fixable things and to blame everything on the same things you've been blaming it on. Overpaid quarterbacks, overpaid pieces, coaching, to blame it and say to fire them, to get rid of them, that they're the problem and we need to get rid of them at all costs. That is the problem. I cannot stand Lions fans that are like that. I cannot.
I'll continue with your point. Being at Ford Field yesterday, I feel like there was 3 tiers of fans after the game. There were the kids and like people like us that were extremely upset, like what you said, like fire Dan Campbell,
You can be upset. You just can't going to extremes. You're allowed to be upset. Just going to extremes that are like just immature extremes. That's where it's like, come on, folks.
Yeah. There's those kids. There's like the middle ground where everyone's like, oh, the loss is the loss. We'll play them next. We'll get them next week. And then there's the old fans who are like everybody coming up. We were like, oh, see you next. Thanks for coming. Like, we'll see you next week, the Cardinals. And then I remember there was an older fan who was passing by. Goes, I've been a fan of this team for 50 years. This team is not bouncing back. And I'm like, okay, you'll get a pass because you've seen some stuff, and I understand. But at the same time, like, this is not the same. This is not the same team from 1976 or like 1996, 2008. Really. This is not those teams. This is a brand new team. And to your point, to the people that are like, fire Dan Campbell, fire Ben Johnson, they didn't have the best performances last night, but they brought you back to the promised land. And you want to get rid of them?
You got to give them some slack.
That's a little ridiculous.
I think they've earned some leeway.
Ben Johnson's red zone offense looked pretty bad yesterday. When you're in the red zone six times and you only score once, it's a little ridiculous. I mean, I'm not like fire Ben Johnson or anything, but like I'm just saying, like, you're in the red zone 6 times and you score once. And what did he do? How did we get the touchdown, you two guys? How did we get it?
We gave it to David Montgomery.
Ran the ball.
Perfect!
Yeah, why didn't we run the ball that much?
Let me tell you, Jared Goff went 34 for 55 yesterday. You had 55 passing attempts yesterday. This team should be a run-first offense. You have David Montgomery, who, if you hand him the ball, gets you 6+ yards every time. You have Jahmyr Gibbs, where he finds the pocket, and with the best offensive line in football, by the way, he can get you like 10, 20 yards. Why are you throwing the ball 55 times? And I said this on my story yesterday on Snapchat. Jared Goff, the past 2 weeks, has stressed me out when he's been in the pocket. Like every time he's dropping back to pass, I'm scared. I should not have that from my $250 million quarterback. I'm not saying he's a big problem. I'm saying if this is the reason all year, then I might have that, like, get rid of this guy. Start Hendon Hooker. But at the same time, like, it's week 2. I can't really say much. Still trying to figure it out. Like, you gotta really clean it up against Arizona, which we are a 3-point favorite.
You're within 6 or 7 yards of the end zone. I think no matter what, you need to run at least 2 of the 4 plays.
Agreed.
Last night we saw Jared Goff. I mean, it was a design play for JMO. One, there was a player, it might have been Tim Patrick. I don't know who the player was, but he was running a slant route in the end zone, wide open. If you would have hit him on the slant, that's a touchdown. I wouldn't say wide open. He had a defender behind him, but if you hit him on the slant, it's a touchdown. You throw it into double coverage into the bottom right corner of the end zone to JMO. Uncatchable. What are we doing? Even if it's, okay, designed for JMO, right. Look at the play first, because you could have a design play to a player. Either the other team knows it or the other team reads it, and you have another player wide open. That's what happened. Or how about you give the ball to David Montgomery, who literally will bully the ball. I think when you're within the 10, you have a goal-to-go set of downs. You hand it off to Montgomery no matter what. With your offensive line and Montgomery and even Gibbs, you need to run the ball all 4 plays. All 4 plays. And you will get a touchdown. It's almost a guaranteed touchdown every time. There is no way you are not scoring like that. I think next week, if we're in the red zone and we get into within the 10-yard line, you run the ball no matter what. No matter what, you run the ball. Because then you're at least getting points. Throwing the ball and either almost throwing a pick or making terrible reads makes no sense. Now, throwing the ball once or twice to change it up and spice it up, because if you run plays the entire time, they're going to read it, and it's not going to work after you exert that every single time. that'll open up the pass game too. And now we don't even need to open it. We had someone open going across the end zone. Throw the ball to him. You don't have to throw the ball to Jamo. Look, I'd love for you to give the ball to Jamo every single time. He's on my fantasy team. I'd love that. I would rather win a football game. I would rather the Lions win than my fantasy team win. I don't. Oh boy, it's so irritating.
Winning is insanely important in football, especially
it's insanely hard.
It's hard to win in football, which I get. Like you said, the Bucs proved that they were a better team. They
really did.
Campbell, dude, what are we doing? Like I know, like it's been this way since you've been here since 2021. That your clock management has not been the greatest, even when we were good last year and in 2022, your clock management has not been good. Like, it's starting to get a little ridiculous. Got to clean it up. Arizona next week, like this Arizona offensive line isn't great. We should get to Kyler Murray pretty well. If we get a deep ball corner on Marvin Harrison, I don't think it'll be that big of a problem. I'm not really worried about Arizona. I mean, I'm still scared, but at the same time, if you play your cards right, like have Terrion Arnold on Marvin Harrison or have Carlton Davis on Marvin Harrison, then you win. Let's clean it up, guys. Come on.
Did Carlton Davis play yesterday?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Carlton.
Was his name called once?
I think
twice.
I think he did twice because there was a couple tackles here and there, but mostly you saw Terrion Arnold yesterday commit more penalties.
Was Carlton on Mike Evans, or is he on Chris Godwin?
I think one of the times I saw him on Mike Evans when it was a late game drive.
So is he locking down Evans? Is that what he was doing?
I think he was mainly locking down Mike Evans.
Because I forgot he existed yesterday, to be completely honest with you. And whoever was letting Chris Godwin just wide open needs to be running some extra suicides today. Needs to be running some extra laps today.
Well, you saw that one play earlier in the game on Godwin's first touchdown catch. Terrion Arnold was guarding somebody in the slot, or he was looking like he was going to guard Chris Godwin. Then all of a sudden, the player in the slot just basically runs Terrion off, which means there's no one left for Godwin, and that was one of the easiest plays, and it was a beautiful play.
That play worked beautifully.
It was.
It's not going to work much longer because people are going to realize that and they're going to read it. But that worked for what it needed to do yesterday. That won them the game, basically. That touchdown.
What, the Godwin touchdown?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Plus Baker had a great scramble at the end.
He did. Baker was great
for touchdown. And I won't dwell too much on the Lions because Anthony, you and Ryan hit basically all the major points that you need to. But the big thing is, just do the thing that's right. Just do what's right. You cannot go 1 for 7 in the red zone with only one time that you give the ball to David Montgomery. It can't happen.
And he scored.
And he scored. Ben Johnson, funny how that happens, right? And it's like, I get you're going to have a bad game. Everybody's human. We make mistakes. Bad games exist. Lions fans, take chill pills. Seriously. To Anthony's point. Take chill pills. You guys are outrageous in terms of, sure, your emotions are high. But still, so many of you are overreacting about the Lions. My buddy James back home, shout out to you, but I got to call you out on it, dude. The first thing that you said to me after the game, I knew Jared Goff was overpaid. It's a 4-year contract. He's inked here for a long time. Now
it's market value, too.
It's market value. You're going to have a bad game. Jared Goff had 2 interceptions yesterday. Rare, but again,
one of them wasn't his fault.
One of them was not. One of them was not his fault.
One of them was a pass interference.
One of them was not his fault.
Stupid.
That should have been called a PI. It is what it is.
Right.
But
surprised the refs you suck chant wasn't followed after that pick.
They were letting him hear it, though, at Ford Field.
Oh, yeah.
There were a whole bunch of boo-birds ringing down.
Crazy loud.
Even during that next Buccaneers drive, they were still ringing them out. So they were letting them hear about it. Ford Field, again, you guys were electric yesterday.
And I can testify.
Ryan can testify because he was actually there.
It was insane yesterday.
You guys were just awesome. Awesome environment. But big takeaway, clean up what you need to clean up against Arizona. And I'm going to keep it real. I'm not confident going into next week. You saw what Kyler Murray did with Marvin Harrison. First 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 83 yards.
Don't forget James Conner at 119 yards.
Yes, James Conner is a vastly underrated running back.
He is.
He could potentially have a good game against the Lions. Pass defense is still a major weak point for us that we got to clean up.
Got to clean it up. It has the potential to be very good. You just have to clean up some things.
You do have to clean up some things. Bottom line, and if I'm going to criticize Dan Campbell on his clocking the ball gaff and running the field goal unit out there, which was absolutely atrocious. You cannot do that as a head coach. And that just goes back to, the early years of Dan Campbell where he was, in fact, learning on the job. Mm-hmm. Again, this is the NFL. You can't do that. You got to be prepared. And if I'm going to criticize Dan Campbell, I'm going to give him credit. He owned up to it.
He did.
Good.
That is what a good coach will do. He will own up to his mistakes. And again, that's all the more reason why so many of Dan Campbell's players want to run through a wall for him.
Yep.
If he can own up to his mistakes and have that honesty and transparency with his players, that's how it's got to be. Clean up what you need to clean up for Arizona and do what's right. Please.
Incredible point right there. Some good conversation here. Let us know what you're thinking in the comments. After this short break, we're going to talk Tigers, and we're going to talk NFL Week 2. You're watching Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk here on YouTube.
Sports cards, signed jerseys, signed helmets, and more. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles is your one-stop shop for all things the hobby. Make sure to check them out down Mission Street in Mount Pleasant, right past Meyer. Miller's Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Welcome back to Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk. Ryan Donnelly, Michael Rosenkranz. I'm Anthony Schulte here with you on this Monday morning. Not a victory Monday, but a Monday nonetheless.
Well, it's a victory for another team.
It is.
It is.
I mean, like the Lions had a lot of downs yesterday, but at least the Tigers won.
Yeah, across the street, there were some momentous occasions.
Guess who was there? Nobody.
It was actually a pretty decent crowd of Orioles fans.
I didn't watch.
was.
I didn't watch any of it.
We watched a little bit before the Lions started, before all the football started. It was a decent crowd. I mean, given the circumstances,
Right.
It was decent.
You had one Lions fan who I saw was there, and I'd like to point out, you also had the return of our good boy, Max the Mets fan.
Max
He's
was there.
back.
That was incredible
That
to
was
see
fun.
him with Johnny Kane, friend of the program.
I have to watch that. I didn't see that yet.
He's
You
back.
didn't see that?
Not
It-
yet.
it was-
I didn't know that
Dude,
happened.
It was
yeah,
really good.
Max the Mets fan made his return, and he caught up with, again, Johnny Kane, good friend of the program,
that's
who we had on.
awesome.
Go watch it, dude. You will not be
I'm watching that after the show, man.
disappointed. Our
That's
boy
awesome.
Max the Mets fan made his return to Comerica
Oh,
Park.
he's
That
great.
was
that
incredible.
was a really good segment with the return. I watched
It
it.
was.
I watched it after work on Saturday. It was funny.
I wish that wasn't. I wish that wasn't during the Lions game, so
Right.
more people could have seen it. But hey, if it was good, it was good.
I think he showed up Saturday or is it?
That sounds right. It was
it
either
Saturday?
Friday.
Wasn't it
Yeah.
yesterday?
No, because I remember.
Oh, boy, I'm
I remember.
casual, bro.
I remember watching it after work, and at the arena. I remember watching it. Yeah, I remember watching it on my break after work, or on my break during work. I watched the whole thing. It was.
I'm going to have to
Dude.
show you the clip on social media
Yeah.
because that's where I saw it, but I remember seeing Max, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's literally Max the Mets fan who Johnny Kane talked to, and it was great to see him catch up with him.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to watch that. I was
Yes.
really watching the broadcast on Saturday night. I mean, we were watching the broadcast a little bit, but we weren't really paying attention to we watch it here and there.
Fair.
So-
Fair enough.
There's that. But the Tigers, hey, 2.5 games out of the wild card here. The Twinkies did win yesterday.
Yeah.
Sadly, but hey, 2.5 games out. Those 2 games that you probably should have won, and you're not going to win them all, but the games you probably should have won against Baltimore and Colorado, we'd be a half game back if we would have won them. However, you're not going to win them all. You're going to lose some games you should win. That's just sports. But, yeah, Tigers are 0.5 out of it, or 2.5 out of it. And, I mean, this team is fun. If we go back 5 months, not even, 3 months ago. Yeah. 3 months ago, and say we were still doing the show during the summer. And we were sitting here, we would probably be looking forward to the winter meetings. We would be looking forward to just the postseason in general. And the Tigers, we did not expect them to be playing meaningful baseball in September into October.
Nope.
We did not expect this team to be contending for a wild card. Now, at the beginning of the season, sure. But once the season got going, Carey's hurt. I mean, Riley got hurt for, a month almost?
He was out for a long time.
So, I mean, you're missing a lot of guys. You were selling at the deadline, which kind of wish we were buying now. This has been a pleasant surprise. A pleasant surprise. The pieces are all kind of coming together. And in my opinion, you only need one more power bat. One more power bat to really shore up the lineup, really bring it together, maybe another starting arm or 2. And that's all you need in the offseason to win the division, I'd say. To win the division. Mm-hmm. That's all you need. This team, it's all coming together very nicely. You also got to remember, you have so much in the farm system, too. You have, is it Tyrone? Is that how you say his name? Lorenzo?
Yeah.
I think it's.
I thought it was like Thyron or something.
I thought it was Thayron, but I heard say Tyrone.
I thought it was Thyron Lorenzo.
I don't. Lorenzo.
Yes.
Lorenzo.
Yeah.
That guy. We got a Job in the system. Max Clark is in the system.
Jackson Job's now at AAA, I think.
He is.
Yep, he got called up.
Is it McDingle?
McGonigal.
Kevin McGonigal.
Kevin McGonigal.
We have him, even though I think he got injured.
We also have Justice Bigby. He's also
Justice Bigby
very good
in the system. We can't forget about our friends Ryan Valade. I think Badu is still down there. We've got I'm not.
I think Kreidler was just optioned back down there.
I was not going to say Kreidler.
Fair enough, because Kreidler's not that good.
I have his autograph card. I do. You gave it to me.
No, my brother gave it to you.
Well, it's...
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sure you're proud of that autograph.
I'm proud of it. I'm very proud.
Ryan Kreidler. Speaking of shortstops, Ryan Kreidler. Did Javier Baez play his last game in Detroit?
Yes, he did.
I sure hope so.
Trey Sweeney looks pretty good.
He's the starter, especially with the spring trading under his belt.
Trey Sweeney should be the starter. Javi Baez, us as Tiger fans, we are so glad that you're not in the lineup. And as blunt as I'm being, and I don't like to degrade anybody, it's refreshing and it's a joy to see Javi Baez in the lineup because Javi is a negative player who constantly hurts the team.
And he's not even that good in the field anymore.
No, he's not. He's bad all around.
You'd have your monthly Tigers Twitter El Mago tweet because he makes one diving grab. That's all you'd get from him.
Yeah. Listen, no matter playoffs or not, we will look back at this team and think and just be like, okay, this team was really fun. Like the Red Wings. Like the Red Wings were playoff chasers, but then we didn't make the playoffs in the last week, but that Red Wings team was still fun. Detroit sports are up and coming. Like the Red Wings might make the playoffs this year. The Lions are on a chase for the Super Bowl. The Tigers are in the chase for the wild card. And the Pistons, the Detroit Tigers, look.
The Pistons will win 30 games this season. Yes.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
28. The Tigers look.
30.
28. The Tiger. I'm still talking.
30.
28. The Tigers, listen, you got the Royals today. You got the Royals this week.
That's gonna be tough.
You got a break, and then you got the Orioles again, who you beat 2 out of 3 of just this past weekend. And then you got the Rays, and then you got the White Sox to end it off. You have 2 very tough series, the Royals and the Orioles. And you got 2 pretty. I don't want to say easy. Well, the White Sox is easy, but I don't know about the Rays.
I expect you to beat the White Sox, but the Rays are going to be hopefully far more manageable than the Orioles or Royals.
Well, the Royals don't have Vinny Pasquantino.
That's true,
That's huge.
which that is a huge bat
He's
in their
killed
lineup.
us all year.
The
Yes.
Rays also blew up. Like, outside, like, I don't really know anyone on the Rays anymore. It's out of Brandon Lowe. Like, a Rosenreina got traded. Glasgow left in free agency. You still got Brandon Lowe, who's still really good. You traded Isak Paredes to the Cubs. This Rays team is completely different than where they were at the beginning of the season. They are way more manageable. They're trusting their farm system, which they have a very good farm system. However, I think the Tigers could beat them, for sure. And it helps that the last 2 series are at home. I feel like if you want a shot at the wild card, you need to win 2 out of 3 against the Royals, 2 out of 3 against the Royals. Or did I say Royals twice?
Yeah.
Orioles and Royals sound. Say that 5 times fast.
Orioles, Royals, Orioles, Royals, Orioles, Royals, Orioles, Royals, Orioles, Royals.
He did it. You got to beat the Royals twice. You got to beat the Orioles twice, and you got to sweep the Rays and the White Sox. Like you can afford 2 to 3 losses in this stretch of 2 weeks.
Basically, you can no longer afford to lose a series.
Nope.
No.
You can no longer afford to lose a series.
If you can win out every series, even if you drop a game in the series, I think we make the playoffs.
I think
You just got to win each series.
the season is over once we lose a series, and we have 4, which this is. I will be seeded these next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of, I can't listen. I'm really excited for these next 2 weeks of Tigers baseball. And not only is it going to be really fun, but it's also going to be really stressful. But also, I'm not looking forward to the season to end, so I have to worry about only the Lions.
I have a question for you,
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Do you think during the next Orioles series we're going to see the
Nope, we're not
big
going to
ticket
We're not.
J13
I don't think
in
so.
your opinion?
I don't. We're doing this again. We're doing this.
We got to play him again. Wait, I'm looking this up. Who are
most-
the probables for that series?
Most likely, I feel like we're going to play.
Well, you already played Corbin Burns here, and the Orioles are going to rotate him. You could probably see Corbin Burns in probably the first or second game
It's most likely
at Camden Yards because the Tigers have the next 6 games on the road. 3 at Kauffman, 3 at Camden Yards.
It
take
most
a
likely
look.
will be that first game.
Oh, it's TBD. Oh no, he is going to be the first game on
Yeah.
Apple TV Plus.
Oh,
It'll probably
on
be
Apple
Scooble versus
TV
Burns.
too.
It'll probably be Scooble versus Burns.
As the kids would say, that's going to be cinema.
It is going to be theater.
That is going to be...
It is going to be Ryan's dream big ticket J13 matchup.
Literally,
Wait, is it Scooble Burns?
It's
Yes!
Scooble Burns. We got big ticket J13 wearing the Old English D, and then big ticket J13 where
We need to try and get James Wiseman on this show.
Oh
to
By
my
the
talk
way,
about
gosh,
it.
I
that'd
want to
be
point this out. This
incredible.
is sort of off topic, but he kept sending me videos all weekend while I was gone of them watching that clip over and over again.
because it's a funny clip,
It
dude.
is great.
Because it's a
All right.
funny clip.
I'm done with my tag.
Oh my
Go
gosh.
team.
So
I hope you like that.
Tigers cannot afford to lose a series from here on out. 6 games on the road at Kauffman and at Camden Yards. If you want to prove yourself and you want to play meaningful baseball to continue to play meaningful baseball, win these series on the road. Road games are tough. It's going to be a packed house at each of these games. I mean, KC is already going to be pretty much in it because they're second in the division right now. They're holding on to the second wild card spot. The Twins are currently sitting in the 3rd spot.
Central is so good.
The AL
Central is so good.
the AL Central this season has been tightly compacted. Everybody except the White Sox.
This is the NFC South. You have
Yes.
your 4 really good teams, and then you have your Carolina Panthers,
Yeah.
which is the White Sox.
Exactly. But you want to continue to play good, meaningful baseball, you got to win each of these series. From here on out, no excuse. You got to continue to play meaningful baseball. Tigers are going to be exciting going in the final few games of the season.
I'm not watching Monday Night Football or Monday Night Raw tonight. I will be watching my very good baseball team, which I have not
That's
said.
wild. That's wild.
Which I have not said in about 10 years.
I
My
have
very
Saquon,
good
so-
baseball team.
I have Saquon, and I'm going up against Devonta. So
Well, all my fantasy players are done for the
I
week.
might have 3 screens up. I might half and half the. Anyways, that's off topic. We're going to move on to our Week 2 picks, our Week 2 recap here on Card Guys Detroit Sports Talk, and what a terrible week
We
it
all
was
did
for
pretty
us.
bad.
This is a week of upsets.
I won the week, surprisingly.
You know what? You only have 9 wins.
9-6.
See, this is the problem with the week. I picked 12 games, and they were all upsets. The odds were pretty slim. I only needed the Panthers and Patriots to win. It was all upsets. 12-leg upset parlay.
Yeah,
Oh my
unfortunate.
gosh.
Insane. Anyways, back to our picks.
Wow.
Let's start off with the Thursday night matchup, which, who would have expected this? The Dolphins get absolutely crushed by the Buffalo Bills, 31-10. Tua turned the ball over.
Turned the ball over.
He turned the ball over, and we don't know if we're going to see him again.
2-second moment of silence for Tua Tagovailoa. Okay.
All right. Seriously, in all seriousness, though, hopefully he has a speedy recovery, and he can. This is what I've been kind of preaching. He could do whatever he wants. Whatever he does, we cannot judge. If he wants to keep playing, that's his decision. Support him on it. If he wants to retire for his health and his family, that's his decision. Support him on it. It's his decision.
Right.
It's his decision.
See, the kind of, I'm just thinking it's worth it to retire. That's my opinion, because I get that he wants to play. It's just not worth the potential brain damage you can have. This is 4 or 5 concussions now for Tua.
In a short time span.
It's very short time span. It's not worth it to me.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my opinion out of it because, like I said, in my opinion, it's his decision, and whatever his decision
Fair
is,
enough.
he's going to talk to many doctors and his family. Whatever decision he makes is the right decision. I'm just going to say that because he's going to consult with his family, obviously. He's going to consult with doctors, and whatever's the best for him, he's going to do. Mm-hmm. So whatever he thinks is best, he can do. If it was me in the situation, I would probably retire, but that is besides the point.
Yep.
But Dolphins lose 31-10. I had the Dolphins. I think we all had the Dolphins.
Yep.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Anthony Schulte upset of the week hits once again the New Orleans Saints, my Cinderella team, one of my favorite teams in football right now to watch. They've put up 91 points this season, and I picked them to beat your Cowboys, Ryan, and they won 44-19, an absolute domination, obliteration. They smoked them. The Cowboys are not going to recover from this.
The Cowboys are going nowhere. The Cowboys suck. I just want to say that live on air. The Cowboys suck. Dak Prescott, you need to get off my second favorite football team.
Censor himself.
He's trying to censor himself.
44-19 is
Not
that final
good.
score.
Not good. This team needs a running back.
This could
Bad. Ezekiel Elliott will not do anything. Tony Pollard's gone. He's sucking it up in Tennessee.
He did pretty well.
I didn't watch.
Pretty well in Tennessee. Cowboys take one on the chin there in Jerry's world, and then Tampa Bay and Detroit. We picked
Yep,
Detroit.
I don't care.
San Francisco and Minnesota. What a
That's a shocker.
Sam Darnold.
dude. Jay Jettis 97-yard to the Haas.
Good for fantasy.
Insane.
I have both Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson in fantasy. Justin Jefferson put up 23. Sam Darnold put up 20.
Speedy recovery to Justin Jefferson though. He might be out a couple weeks.
Yeah, he very well could be.
And hopefully he can come back pretty soon. No matter the rivalry, you do not want to see players get injured.
No
matter the
never.
rivalry or the team. Chargers and Panthers. I got the Chargers on this one, and I got that correct.
Yeah, this was pretty simple. Chargers, Panthers continue to just...
2% of people picked the Panthers. Who?
The one Panthers fan that exists.
The Panthers fan base picked themselves.
The Panthers fan base, the super fans.
Sir Purr picked it.
Sir
The mascot of the
Is that his actual name?
Sir Purr. That's the
Sir
mascot of the
incredible.
Carolina.
I love
That is
that.
incredible.
Anyways,
Sir Purr.
I picked Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh.
He's
And
having
the
a
Chargers.
Frank moment.
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
He's having another Frank the Tank moment with Michigan football. Change your quarterback. Davis Warren's not it. Anyway.
All three of my football teams did not look great.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You took
That
one.
is true.
Oh, wait. All four of my teams didn't look good. Central
Oh, yeah.
lost. Michigan won by 10. I'm still calling it a loss
Yeah,
because you won by 10.
to Arkansas.
To
Arkansas
Davis Warren.
State.
There's the door, buddy. Get off my football team. Lions lost and Cowboys lost.
The Packers, another NFC North team, won this week. Colts take one on the chin. I had the Colts 16-10, low-scoring affair over there in Lambeau.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue.
This is
This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe.
Oh, yeah.
Beat the something.
Packers.
We'll send them back packing for the Colts. Or this is our team. Go Colts. I love that guy.
That guy's great.
I picked the
I thought
Colts.
when he made that Packer, I thought the Packers were 0-2. Obviously, I was wrong.
I picked the Colts. Anthony Richardson, you put up 9. I don't
3
like
interceptions.
I don't like you right now.
Just
Packers are good.
they are good.
They're good.
NFC North is going to be a tough division.
I think genuinely the only bad team in the NFL is the Panthers. Every other team is good and can beat any other team.
Yeah.
That is where we are in the NFL.
Yep.
We've got Jets and Titans 24-17. I picked the Jets.
Jets.
Aaron Rodgers.
Jets, Jets.
Seahawks and Patriots. I picked the Seahawks on a field goal in overtime.
Seahawks.
Browns and Jaguars. Oh, what a weird game this was. This was just a weird game. 18-13, the Browns won. That's insane in my opinion.
My third favorite team lost. I'm very bummed. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
3 favorite teams is wild. The Commanders beat the Giants. I don't think anybody's shocked in this case here.
Nope.
No.
Hey, Daniel Jones got a passing touchdown yesterday.
He did. He
Shout
got
out.
2.
And one of them was to Malik Neighbors.
It was.
And I have him in fantasy. He put up 30 for me. Thank you.
And then our next game here, the Raiders get their first win of the season against the Ravens. What's going on in Baltimore, dude?
I don't. What is
Something's going on in Baltimore.
It's not winning. They're not winning games.
They're not winning, and that's shocking to me.
Yeah.
I think if there's one team to be kind of worried about this season, it's the Ravens because they got to start putting wins together. And you got to start talking about Ken Lamar lead a winning team.
Yep.
Because we haven't seen it yet, and this is their first 0-2 start since, 2014?
Right around there. Yep.
It's been a decade?
Yeah.
That's
Unfamiliar
not good.
territory for the Ravens.
They got to figure it out this season. I think some decisions have to be made at the end of the season if they're not at least in the AFC Championship. And right now, with the way this NFL is looking, you got to be on your A game every single week.
Isaiah Likely didn't even get involved. He had 2 receptions? He had 4 points for me in fantasy.
Dude, the tight end position is weird this year.
Yeah.
It is.
Weird.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce had 1 reception yesterday.
He
He had put up 1
Stan
for
Laporta
me.
had 3 targets.
The tight end U is not looking great. Speaking of tight end U, Trey McBride put up 19 points for me on my other fantasy league. And ladies and gentlemen, the Ryan Donnelly upset of the week, the Arizona Cardinals. They won. The Cardinals.
Are you a bird? Are you Lyra Valkyria?
Yes.
Are you a bird?
Yes, I am Lyra Valkyria.
WWE reference.
Yes. Cardinals, man, they didn't win. They whooped the Rams.
They did.
Prayers to Cooper Kupp, by the way, who left the game early, but nonetheless, the Rams don't have Puka and they don't have Cooper for a little bit, so it's gonna be a struggle in La La Land.
It is.
But Cardinals, I'm scared.
I picked the Rams.
Yeah, I picked the Rams as well, but putting up 41 points against the Rams, who the Lions barely escaped, in Week 1.
Yep, it's kind of concerning.
Yeah, it's very.
And they almost beat the Bills.
It's very concerning.
Yeah,
it's very concerning.
Cardinals are going to be good. My preseason prediction of them not being too great is looking very bad. You know what? Happy for the Cardinals. You know, they deserve to win after these last couple years. Game of the week. Kansas City, Cincinnati. What a game!
That was incredible.
What a game! Some questionable calls at the end, but you can't blame
definitely.
the refs. Both teams had opportunity after opportunity, and I mean, if you're going to leave it down to Patrick Mahomes, only up by 2 with under a minute left, you can't blame the refs at that point. You really can't. I had the Chiefs. Chiefs won. I'm not complaining. Got the win there.
I had the Chiefs.
I also had the Chiefs.
And then we had Steelers and Broncos. Again, another weird game, 13-6.
So many low-scoring games.
Offense
too.
just not clicking to start the season here in the NFL.
Nope.
Unless you're the Saints. 13-6. I had the Steelers personally.
Steelers.
Shout out Isaac.
Sunday Night Football. Houston Texans. Chicago. Bears.
Bears.
The Bears.
And, Caleb Williams is not looking too good to start the season.
You're not playing the Pac-12. You're playing the Houston
NFL.
Texans.
This this is my thing with Caleb Williams. He has potential, but if he is going to turn into Justin Fields if the Bears keep doing this. The Bears need to get him protection. What happened to Justin Fields? He got hit way too much. He had no time, and he couldn't be a smart quarterback because he had no time. What's happening again? Caleb Williams is getting hit all the time.
And that's the thing, Anthony, to go to your point, just to give you a little tidbit here. The Texans had 36 pressures
Oh, my goodness.
on Caleb Williams. What's going on up front? And not only
I
that,
thought their O-line was supposed to be good.
same. Apparently, somebody's not doing the job on the O-line. And another thing, one more stat for you. Caleb Williams had 3 net yards per attempt. That's the worst for any quarterback in weeks 1 and 2 in the last decade. Exactly 10 years.
Lions
It's not where you want to be for
Does he
Caleb
still have
Williams.
0 touchdowns?
Yep.
Yeah,
His
I think
one
so.
touchdown, the one touchdown
interceptions?
last night was it was Khalil Herbert, and it was a rushing
It was a
touchdown.
rushing touchdown.
The Lions are going to kill the Bears.
Well, I mean, this team could easily. Their defense is so good that it could kind of be like a Titans thing where their defense could just beat us single-handedly.
No doubt, and that's who the Bears have been for the last 4 decades.
For sure. So tonight, there's Monday Night Football. It's Falcons, it's Eagles. We all have the Eagles, I'm assuming.
ELGSEL Eagles.
We all have the Eagles. It should be I hope it's a pretty decent game. Obviously, who knows with football nowadays? The Falcons could win by 30, and none of us would see that coming.
Exactly.
Hopefully the Eagles win, get another win under my book. But Sally, that's all we have for today's show. Turned into a pretty decently long show here, but hey, that's all right. Thank you for tuning in. Card Guys, Season 3, Episode 3 on 101.1 The Beat and YouTube. Stay tuned for Wednesday's program, where we make our Week 3 picks. We talk some WNBA playoffs, and maybe the Tigers keep on winning. For my good buddies Ryan Donnelly and Michael Rosenkranz, I'm Anthony Schulte saying, so long, everybody.
Love you, Mom and Dad. Have a great rest of your day.
Happy belated birthday, Mom. Thank you so much for the 20% off Rally House coupon. We'll put that to good use.
Put us right to